Hello students, today we will continue with chapter 5 legislature from our class 11th political science textbook Indian Constitution at Work. We will study about the two houses of the parliament, that is the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, which are known as Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha in the state legislatures. Let us study more about the Rajya Sabha. For the elections to the Rajya Sabha, according to Article 30 of the Indian Constitution, it consists of 250 members, out of which 238 are elected from legislative assemblies of different states and union territories. And the Indian President nominates 12 members from the distinguished people who have made their marks in the fields of literature, science, social service, sports, etc. That is how you have Sachin Tendulkar or Rekha, Jaya Bhadri, all these people in the parliament, because they have been nominated by our president. The Rajya Sabha is the permanent house because 1/3 of its members, they retire after every 2 years and fresh elections are held. The term of office is 6 years and they can get re-elected. That is why it is called as a permanent house. Now, what are the qualifications to be a member of Rajya Sabha? It is clearly understood that he must be a citizen of India, should not be less than 30 years of age, he should not be lunatic or bankrupt, and he should possess other qualifications as may be prescribed by the parliament. Another important thing is that he should be a voter. He should have the ability to vote in one of the constituencies of the Lok Sabha of the state from which he is planning to stand for elections. ठीक है? जिस स्टेट से वो खुद इलेक्शंस खड़ा होना चाहते हैं to be a member of the Rajya Sabha, उस स्टेट में उनको वोट करने की भी परमिशन होनी चाहिए, उनको वोट करने का भी राइट होना चाहिए, उनके पास एबिलिटी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है? Now the powers of the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha has different powers like legislative, financial, executive. Okay, it nominates, elects the president. It is responsible for the removal of the president, judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. It can also impeach the president, vice president. Sorry, it can also impeach the vice president and elect the vice president, because the vice president is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. That is, he holds all the meetings and he conducts all the meetings. All the meetings are conducted under his supervision. Any matter which is related to the state, okay, any matter which is related to the state is naturally represented by the Rajya Sabha. But if the Rajya Sabha wants that the center should make some powers and the center should be given some powers to make on the subject of the Rajya Sabha, then it can ask the center, it can give the union parliament power to make laws on matters included in the state list. Okay. It has approves constitutional amendments also. All the bills which are passed in the Lok Sabha go to the Rajya Sabha for approval. Similarly, all the bills that are passed in the Rajya Sabha, they go to the Lok Sabha for approval. It cannot pass a money bill. It cannot start a money bill. It cannot propose a money bill. The Rajya Sabha cannot propose a money bill. But it can suggest amendments to money bills. All right? These are the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. All the vice presidents of India, they are the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. We can see the first vice president of India was Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. And we had Zakir Hussain, V.V. Giri, G.S. Pathak. You know the importance of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. We celebrate Teachers' Day in memory of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan because he was born on 5th of September. The present ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha is Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, and he was sworn in on August 11th, 2017. He is the present ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha who presides over its sessions. Next, we will know about the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is a more popular house. It is a house of the people. It is the lower house. It is of the parliament, but it is the most popular house. There are composition consists of 552 members, but at the moment there are 543 members in the Lok Sabha, and this number hasn't changed since 1971. Out of which 543 are directly elected by people, and 2 members are Anglo-Indians who are nominated by the president, so that that community can also get its representation. The term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. After 5 years, the Lok Sabha is dissolved and new elections are held to choose or elect a new Lok Sabha. But it may be dissolved before the expiry of its full term if it is found that it is not functioning properly and the president feels that the Lok Sabha needs to be dissolved and the new elections are supposed to be held, then that can happen. Sometimes, according to Article 83, the Lok Sabha's tenure can be extended to 1 year as well. Elections, like I said, they are elected through secret ballot on the basis of universal adult franchise after every 5 years. We follow the first past the post system, which we had studied in elections and representation chapter. Qualifications, again, he should be a member of India, a citizen of India. He should be 25 years of age or more. He or she should not be a lunatic or bankrupt. And they should have qualifications otherwise not permitted by Parliament by law. So if the Parliament does not permit some qualifications, the Parliament has the right to disqualify them. Okay. One representative can be elected from one constituency who will be a part of the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has reserved seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and it is also trying to reserve seats for women. The member of the Lok Sabha, who has to be a member of the Lok Sabha, to become a member of Parliament, he takes oath on the form provided in the 3rd schedule. In this oath, he has to declare the candidate shall have true loyalty and alliance towards the Constitution of India and shall keep the sovereignty and integrity of India inviolable. It is necessary for a reserved constituency that the aspirant belongs to that scheduled caste or scheduled tribe for which the constituency has been reserved. A general candidate cannot stand from a reserved constituency. If the constituency is reserved for religion, then you have to belong to that religion. If it is reserved for a particular caste, you have to belong to that caste. So this is the way that members are considered qualified to stand for elections in the Lok Sabha. Powers of Lok Sabha. Most of the powers, the Lok Sabha has more powers. It is because it is a more popular house, more important house. Most of the meetings, the decisions by the government sits in the Lok Sabha. So most of the meetings and decisions of the government, all are done in the Lok Sabha. It has legislative powers, it makes laws, matters included in union list and concurrent list. It can introduce and enact both money bills and non-money bills. It approves the proclamation of emergency. It also brings up laws or bills regarding amendments of the constitution. It approves proposals for taxation, budget and annual financial statements. This is the financial function. It also elects the president and vice president, removes judges of Supreme Court and High Court, impeachment of the vice president, controls the executive by asking questions, supplementary questions, resolutions and motions, and through no confidence motion. It establishes committees and commissions and considers their reports. Members of the Lok Sabha are responsible for smooth working of the government, and no confidence motion can also be passed against the government if the members of the Lok Sabha feel that the government is not functioning properly. Okay, I hope you've understood. This is a list of Lok Sabha speakers. Just like in the Rajya Sabha, it is the Vice President who is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha and supervises the sessions of the Rajya Sabha. Similarly, in Lok Sabha, a speaker is elected by the members of the Lok Sabha, and he is the one who supervises the business of the Lok Sabha. So to conduct the business of the Lok Sabha smoothly and to preside over it, its speaker and deputy speakers are appointed. What are the main functions of the speakers? The main functions of the speakers are to preside over the meetings, to advise the leader of the house, approval of all the motions regarding speeches, etc. Turn by turn, it asks the speakers, the members of the house, to speak. Without the permission of the speaker, the members of the house cannot speak in the Lok Sabha. If you have seen the Lok Sabha proceedings, you hear the speaker saying, "Mr. Speaker." You know, you hear the person who is speaking, the member who is speaking, he will address the gathering with the Speaker of the House as Mr. Speaker, with your permission, Speaker. Anything in the House that happens with the permission of the Speaker. The Speaker has the right to give warning to the members. It can also dissolve the Lok Sabha at a time, because if it feels that the Lok Sabha is not functioning properly and there are some problems, then it can dissolve the Lok Sabha as well. So those are the functions of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. You can see Ganesh Vasudev Mavalankar was the first speaker, and now we have Om Birla Om Birla of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He is the current speaker who presides over the 17th Lok Sabha. Okay. So this is about the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha in our Indian Parliament, and we'll continue the chapter in the next video. Hope you have understood. For any queries, do feel free to ask.